I was terrified to go to therapy, terrified to walk in the VA hospital, terrified driving there. I blamed my childhood on everything, but that was just an excuse to keep doing what I was doing, to keep lying, to keep arguing, to being loud, putting people down. You know, I was really fucked up bad, giving my kids a silent treatment. I become addicted to that type of shit, you know? I was mad angry. Even when I did get promoted or won an award, my happiness was short-lived. I didn't even like it after a while, and I started over because it's like the jubilation was gone too quick. And I'm going to do something else to make myself feel good, to impress people. You know, I used to talk all this shit like, oh, I want a divorce and, you know, or break up with my girlfriend. I don't like you and I don't love you. I didn't mean none of that shit. I had anger issues. Narcissistic people, sociopaths, psychopaths, whatever, have anger issues, serious anger issues, very cocky, very arrogant, very self-centered, you know, very egotistical. They see the world from the inside out, not the outside in. What can you do for me? I'm doing all these things for you, you, and you. What y'all doing for me? Always bragging about shit, but I wasn't even a good person. I wasn't a healthy person. I was evil. I was sick. I was demented. And so, you know, my friends used to call my mother crazy. You know, family members call my mother crazy. And then when the doctor told me about my personality disorder, I thought I was crazy. And so I started running. I got out the Navy in 1987, ran from it, you know, went back in. But I was dealing with a lot of depression, and I was still just pushing through life and pushing through relationships and pushing through people and being ignorant and being annoying and being disrespectful and being rude, you know? And I would talk about all these things, you know, putting people down, pointing the finger at everybody. Everybody had these problems and issues but me. But I was the common denominator of all my issues and all the issues that I had in my relationships. It was all me, you know? But I'm like, how could I be wrong? How could I have issues if I'm getting promoted? You know, I'm leading all these people. People are listening to me. People are calling on me. People want to be around me. But that's what I wanted. That's what I created. It's not that they wanted to be around me. I made it to where they wanted to be around me, made them think that I was a good person. I was this great leader, you know, but I was struggling through life, struggling for a long time. And pills don't fix this. Talk therapy fix this kind of shit. Talk therapy. You need to take your ass and sit down in front of a psychotherapist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a social worker, and you got to sit there and be ready to sit in those negative vibrations and ready to hear all the negative and bad shit about yourself that you have done. Going into therapy, you got to be honest. Going into therapy, you got to be real. Going into therapy, you got to be open. I wasn't honest, I wasn't open, and I wasn't real for a long time. You know, so people are avoiding these things. You know, I'm talking to men more now. They calling me, Leon, you remind me of myself. Leon, thank you. Leon, you know, damn, what you said, you scared me. I didn't think about that. Because I was going through life just like, you know, not caring, you know, not caring that I hurt these women. You know, not caring that I hurt my wife, not caring that I even hurt my kids. You know, think about that. How can a man call himself a man for me and be a leader, be getting promoted, being put in positions of increased authority, increased responsibility, and then go home and give your kids a silent treatment because they didn't do what you said, or they don't talk to you, or they don't do this? You know, those type of things come back to you later on if you don't get help, if you don't get therapy. And I'm talking to men and women. I'm 56 years old, and guess who get the silent treatment now from their kids? Me. And I used to wonder why, you know, y'all don't call me on my birthday. You don't call me on Father's Day. I created all of that bullshit. And I didn't even think that I was creating, but I was doing it. Because you can buy things, you can plan trips, you can do all of this stuff. You can get in the kitchen and cook, but if you're not telling people you love them, if you're not giving people hugs, if you're not showing people that you care, it don't mean anything to them. Nowadays, people expect parents to do certain things. Kids expect parents to do these things. When we were growing up, we were expected to do those things, you know? Now the kids expect us to do these things, and they're right. That's the way society is. It's not always right, but that's the way society is. And when you don't do it, you think you're fulfilling them by, you know, planning trips and buying go-karts or buying bicycles or roller skates or, you know, laughter. And everybody has cable, everybody has a TV in their bedroom, everybody has Wi-Fi. But you're not showing them love, you know? I didn't have empathy, and also I didn't have sympathy. So when I hurt my kids' feelings, I'm like, too bad, you shouldn't have said that. You should have done what I told you to do, blah, 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 blah. But Dad, we trying to talk to you. Now I want to hear that. You know, God, now I want to hear. You don't know what you're talking about. You young. You only 17. You only 18. You only 21. But I should have set my ass down and listened to him. I listen to a lot of people now. I have to. You know, I didn't choose to be on this journey. God put me on this journey. For years, I didn't even talk to God. For years, I didn't even trust God. You know, I talked to the devil. I trusted the devil. I let the devil in my life. So I was hiding my depression. I was hiding my personality disorder. I was hiding all of my dysfunctions. Everything, I was hiding it. But I was still a functional, dysfunctional man. All of those words. You know, and I thought I was doing good. I thought I was doing great. I thought people around me were happy. They weren't happy. They were unhappy. They were just doing things because I was saying to do this or asking them to do that. And they were doing things because they didn't want to let me down. But mainly they were doing things, my kids, you know, my ex-girlfriend, my ex-wife probably were doing things because they didn't want me to blow up, you know. People were actually afraid of me. And I was like, why are you afraid of me? You know, but I was showing them that, you know what, I had a bad temper. And I found it out in therapy. I was self-centered. I found it out in therapy. I was selfish. I found it out in therapy. I found all these things out. I was terrified to go through therapy. I was terrified to walk in that building at the VA hospital. I was terrified. And here I am. I'm like a tough dude. I'm 5'9.5", 220. I can lift weights. I can box. I can do all these things. But I couldn't hold a conversation with a woman. I couldn't be real with a woman. I couldn't talk to my kids as a nice father, right? I couldn't be a great listener. I couldn't be honest. I couldn't be forthcoming. But I'm this tough dude. I wasn't shit. And I had to call myself out, you know? I started learning how to call myself out and accept all these things that I learned in therapy. And I'm not forcing therapy down anybody's throat, but if you don't go, you go through the rest of your life without clarity, without awareness, without wherewithal of how you hurting people, how you mistreating people, how you driving people crazy, how you pushing people away, how you ruining your marriages, how you ruining your relationship, how you ruining your friendships. The only time I was happy is when I was dealing with people that was just as f***ed up as I was. Because we do the same thing. We think the same way. We share the same ideas. We do the same cheating. We do the same arguing. We do the same putting down. And that was my comfort zone. Those type of people. I was uncomfortable. When I was with people that were wholesome, people that were real, people that were honest. That made me uncomfortable because I saw what I wasn't. And, you know, when I see those people, when I was hanging around those people, oh, they too good for me. They're too pure. They're nerds. They're squares. No, they were right people. I should have spent more time with them early on, but I didn't. I chose to go the dysfunctional path, which was my comfort zone, which were the men that I wanted to emulate when I was younger. The hustlers, the players, the pimps, you know, the men in the street, the men that have all these women, the men that constantly lie, the men that people put on a pedestal, the men that people look up to for no reason because they had a lot of women, they had a lot of cars, they had a lot of jewelry, they dressed nice, you know. Those are the wrong people to look up to. So that's just my rant for today, y'all. Get your therapy. Make things better. Make somebody else's life better. Make your life better. You know, start thinking clearly. Start understanding who you are, who you can be, who you should not be. You know, and yeah, just do better. Want better out of life. Want to feel better. Want to look better. Want to think better. You know, want to keep your family together instead of tearing families apart. And sadly, I got really good at that, sadly. So I'm on a different journey now. So, hey, I'm here for anybody that needs some help. All right, y'all have a great day.